Good day, everyone. I'm Ron Westfall, VP of Networking and Infrastructure at HyperFRAME Research, and I'm coming to you today from Mobile World Congress 2026. And I think we have an exciting conversation ahead of us. We are talking with Extreme Networks, and I'm delighted to introduce my distinguished colleague, Markus Nispel, CTO of EMEA at Extreme Networks. And Markus, can you please tell us more about your background and what you're looking at the show?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Ron, for having me. It's great to be here. I'm looking forward to a great conversation. My role, as you mentioned, I'm Chief Technology Officer, but I'm also leading the Office of the CTO globally at Extreme. So we are looking at inflection points in market, society, technology, and trying to identify what's the best response from an Extreme point of view. Because every inflection point, every change is both a risk and an opportunity, and we obviously want to be A, prepared, and B, seize the opportunity. So we're looking out for trends. There are a lot of startups here at the Mobile World Congress as well that gives us inspiration of what to do and what's coming next. So yeah, that's a great show.
I agree, and that's certainly something that we've been seeing. Lots of, I would say, very helpful conversations about what to look out for in terms of, key important trends. And I believe one of them is agentic AI. And naturally, I'm interested in how Extreme Networks is addressing it, particularly with the Extreme Platform One proposition. I believe you've predicted that this can be the year that multi-agent systems become more real, actually implemented in real world productions. And as such, what is your experience in terms of working with the enterprises to make this happen? And what kind of hurdles have come up, and how have you helped them, negotiate them?
Yeah, absolutely. So we did introduce our multi-agent system in Platform One in production already last July. So we are ready from a technology point of view. It was also a journey that we started around 2022, 2023. So there's some time that you need to mature the technology, get familiar with it, and also make sure that within the platform, which is purpose-built for AI, you have the proper data sets prepared in a way that AI can effectively work with it and agents can work with it as well. So there's a technology component to it that you need to address around data availability, semantic AI, providing the right content at the right time in the right context to those agent systems. But then on the customer side, it's really also important to make their users and the customer's employees, users, adopt the technology, get familiar with it. It's really a journey that everybody needs to get on board with. And the best way to experience AI is start using it. Get your experience with our product, but also with other products, so you can create a better, you up-level yourself, you create a higher level of literacy in the organization, and that is important to put it ultimately into production, because then you can identify the proper use cases that you want to go after, and you can only do that once you're familiar with the technology. So I think that's critically important, and we are helping our customers understand the technology, the limitations, but also the possibilities, which is critically important.
Yes, I believe the foundation is getting established, and we see that Extreme Networks is gaining mind share in this all-important realm, and that will be certainly a difference maker as the implementations mature and the use cases become sharper.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good lead into our next topic, and that is really Extreme's approach to emphasizing that AI is only as intelligent as the data that it understands. And so for you, how do you see Extreme helping customers really manage their data better so that they can get the best outcomes from their agentic AI implementations or their overall AI implementations?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I mentioned it, Platform One is purpose-built for that. Data comes in very different shapes and forms. It's data diversity that makes AI really shine. So it's really important to tap into all of your data silos that you have today and make that available in a common place. And that is what Platform One does for our portfolio, whether it's structured and unstructured data, unstructured data, documentation, enterprise knowledge, but also structured data coming from our network devices, which previously was in silos, in switching, routing, security, SD-WAN. All of this comes together. Our experience and our journey on how we build Platform One for AI and focusing on those diverse data sources and make it available to AI, we can directly transfer that experience to our customers and help them onto that journey as well. What are the areas to focus on? What are the stumbling blocks? What do you have to keep in mind? Not only preparing the data, but also ensuring compliance, data privacy, and then ultimately on top of it, governance for both the data, but the ultimate AI system, including the agents, which is a big topic for us. Right now, how do you manage and govern agents and what they can do inside of the infrastructure? It has been a design criteria from the start, but also our customers need to get used to it on how do you manage and maintain that.
Yeah, I think it's foundational. It's the old adage, garbage in, garbage out. And we want to obviously avoid that. It turns out
that, and also it's the old approach. Things come back. Security and data privacy needs to be designed into the architecture from day one. You can't just bolt it on later. That just doesn't work.
Yes, and I think we're making progress in making AI an optimized experience when it's ready for production. That's both on the enterprise side, but also on the service provider side, which is certainly has a strong presence here at Mobile World Congress. And so in terms of talking with a CIO or another key decision maker, what do you believe is one non-negotiable organizational change they must make before they actually upgrade their existing physical infrastructure to, for AI readiness?
One key organizational change I think that needs to happen is how do you enable your organization to even experience and leverage AI? And what we have seen as well, a lot of domain experts out there are very reluctant to get in touch with the technology. So what you need to do, you need to find the right mix of new blood, new thinkers and experienced domain experts collaborating, and you need to facilitate that. So you need to create an organizational structure that allows you to and your teams to collaborate and basically jointly discover the possibilities. That for sure needs to happen inside of each team. And what we have seen as well is AI, suddenly the use cases usually cut across multiple teams and multiple former data silos, but also organizational units. So you need to establish a cross-functional team that allows you to go from start to finish to implement a project or create new products start to end. So that organizational change, creating like a vertical slice across your organization that does things in a new way using AI, that's critically important as well.
Yeah, I fully agree. And I think what we're also seeing is that the organizations that have made the most progress, it's really the CXOs that are invested in it, that they're helping drive, the organization, the culture to embrace AI. And so I think that can result in competitive advantages for those.
Oh, absolutely. It needs to come top down. You need to have a strategy, but also bottom up. You need to enable your organization. And there are also new ideas coming. The concept of open innovation, I think, is super strong in the AI era as well, because those new people that you sprinkle into your teams, they come up with very new ideas and you want to capture them. And you should have a mechanism that those are being fed up into the overall strategy, and that creates innovation, velocity, and the opportunity to differentiate yourselves, which is, from our perspective, also really important. You shouldn't use AI just for automation and efficiency. That comes as a necessity, so to speak. Your competitors are going to do that as well, but how do you differentiate? So you need to rethink your customer experience, your customer journey, rethink the market that you are in. Can you create something new that you weren't able to create without AI before? Those are the interesting areas to explore and to focus on.
I agree. And I think it reinforces a key point you made, Markus, and that is you really need to have safeguards, the security in place to assure that the journey, the implementation goes reasonably well, that it doesn't create unpleasant surprises. And so from your perspective, how is Extreme enabling just that, that there's the built-in safeguards and guardrails, and that something like shadow AI can be minimized or avoided altogether?
Yeah, the governance is important inside of the platform. So as I mentioned before, agents, you need to be able to govern them, control what they're able to do, what tools they have access to, what data sets they have access to, and that needs to be baked into the solution. That is true for our own platform. But then as you think about AI sprawl in the organization, I think the best way to avoid it is to go back to that organizational setup that I mentioned before. Don't prevent things from happening. Enable your user, your community to test it out in a safe space, in a sandbox, and then shadow AI won't become a big problem from our point of view. It's better to embrace it rather than to stop it. Yeah, we have seen that early on when you try to block access to AI, for example, people always will find a way around it. So embrace it, because then you are part of the journey and then you are in better control. I think that is true for almost all IT tools. And it's interesting to see the AI revolution really started from the consumer side. So
Right.
A lot of IT shops were surprised how quickly their user base picked it up and is now expecting similar services from their own IT in a safe environment. But you cannot fight it, you need to embrace it. That's the only way it's going to work.
Yeah, I think that is the right plan, the right mindset, embracing it. And I think it's something that's not unique to AI. We've been here before. Like people like, I don't need a smartphone. I already have a phone. That could be email. And you get the general idea. And speaking of, things that have happened before, bottlenecks. That's something that is, I think, a headache for many, IT teams. And when it comes to AI workloads, what is Extreme Networks doing to, help them better understand how to make the network not a bottleneck for AI workload optimization? What steps do you see are being taken that can, make a difference, particularly when it comes to using Extreme Networks portfolio?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so far we mostly talked about AI for networking and how you optimize the infrastructure, but the operation and the lifecycle management of the infrastructure. But then the infrastructure itself needs to enable AI as well. And there specifically, the first step is visibility and analytics. So you need to be able to identify what traffic flows exist, what new traffic flows and entities and identities are coming onto the network. Agents are like identities and entities like any other user as well. So you need to be able to discover them, secure them, provide segmentation, which we do in our Fabric technology really effectively. So you can segment your network more, so you reduce the blast radius and the attack surface, even if you introduce new services. I think that's important. And the other advantages, you mentioned bottlenecks. Our Fabric technology that we use is purposely built to scale the overall capacity and the bandwidth of the network infrastructure seamlessly, because all active paths are being used at the same time. So Fabric and AI really go well together, actually. So this allows our customers to quickly react to capacity constraints. We provide the visibility, and Fabrics allows you to easily expand that capability, because ultimately AI will change the traffic patterns, especially as you think about there's going to be more and more inference happening at the edge of the network. So you will see distributed traffic flows more than the traditional client-server type of traffic pattern happening. So you need to be prepared for that. And the first thing is, as I said, visibility, so you can react to it. And the second one is having a Fabric technology that seamlessly scales with those challenges. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's most helpful and a key takeaway. And to wrap it up, are there any final thoughts or call to actions you would like to share in terms of what needs to be done?
I think the main call to action is don't talk about AI, start using AI, embrace it in your organization. Then you get a much better impression of what's possible and what's not possible, and that's the starting point. Go from there make sure that you have a top-down strategy, but you also enable your teams bottom-up, and you take those ideas that are coming bottom-up into account as you build your AI strategy. And don't go for just automation, rethink customer experiences, customer journeys, and think about areas where you can differentiate yourself. And you can do things with AI that you were not able to do before.
That's a high note. And Markus, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts and insights.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you for the opportunity, and looking forward to see you again next year, I guess.
Right on. And with that, thank you, everyone. And we'll be back next year at Mobile World Congress 27. Good day, all.
Thanks.